Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. So, I'm just emptying the dishwasher because I'm under strict orders before the wife gets back from the gym. So here we are, putting it all away. So, Brett May calling Shadowboxer out. I messaged him last night and I said, why are you calling Shadowboxer out? I'm free October. The promoters have messaged me and asked me if I wanted to fight you. I've said yeah. You've clearly said no. Brett, you've said no, you don't want this fight. You messaged me and started saying Shadowboxer brings more numbers. Like, how do you work that out? Dana says, basically, I've got the messages. Don't be a fanny. Like, let's just get this fight over the line. People are calling us out. People are saying shit. That. Do you know what else grinds on me? You've got all these people complaining about this corner of YouTube. I seen a guy last night on Facebook complaining about us on this corner of YouTube. No one has a fight. You're all calling each other out. You're all grown men. You're all this, you're all that. Got a lot to say. Well, if you don't like this corner of YouTube, don't watch it. Don't watch it, because you can't say you're not entertained, because you are, because you made a 4 or 5 minute video last night on Facebook talking about how we're all divvies on this corner of YouTube. Now, I'm not saying we're not all divvies, I'm not, but you are complaining to the point where you need to make a 3 or 4 minute video, so you're obviously entertained, mate. You know, I thought this kid was alright. I can't remember his name. I thought this kid was alright on Facebook. But when I seen him ranting and raving on Facebook about this corner of YouTube, I just thought, do you know what, mate? Like, you're chatting shit. Because if you knew certain individuals on this corner of YouTube, it's not just hot air. You know, if you meet me in real life, you'll know that I carry myself exactly the way I do on here. You know, you can't fight someone who doesn't want to have a fight. Promoters have reached out to me and asked me if I want to fight Brett May on the 4th of October. I've said yes. This man has gone all the way around me and started calling Shadowboxer out. What does that tell you about this man? Like, you can't fight someone who doesn't want to have a fight. Just because I'm not willing to drive to someone's town or to meet someone or to do this or to go look for someone who doesn't have a fight doesn't mean I'm not ready to fight, because I am. You know, if someone come to my town looking for me, wanting a fair play fight, I would be there. I would be there in an instant. If someone messaged me and said, send a postcode, I'm coming for a square go with you, then I'd be there. I wouldn't be like this big shithouse, Brett May. I wouldn't be like this fat idiot, too scared to turn up in his own town. I'd be there. If I knew I was getting a square go and the lad who was turning up only wanted a fair fight, I would be there on my ones by myself, having a fair go. Simple as that. I wouldn't dream of not turning up if anyone come looking for me and wanted a fight. Never. Of course I'd turn up with a half a neck and half an arm. Of course I would. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a shithouse like Brett May is, but I'm glad I don't have to roll like that no more. Like, I am a prize fighter. Like, I would love for Brett May to accept this fight on the 4th of October, and I'll show him what time it is. I'll show all this corner of YouTube what time it is. You know, but don't start making videos complaining, labeling us all the same, because we are not, like, there's certain people on this corner of YouTube that are not like Brett May. They will turn up and fight, especially myself. Like, I will turn up and fight, not a problem. You know, the promoters have messaged me, will you fight Brett May? Yes, I'll fight him, not a problem. And this man has gone all the way around me to call Shadowboxer out. There's nothing I can do about that. You know, as daft as it makes me look, having another back and forth with this fool who's not going to fight makes me look foolish. It does. It makes me look foolish. I'll admit that. But that doesn't mean that I'm not ready. I won't turn up. I won't have a fight, because I will. I train. I box. I'm fit. I'm sharp. I train like a proper athlete. Even though I'm injured, yeah, and I only box once or twice a week, I will smash that lad's head in. You know, I'll beat most people. Do you know, at the end of the day, I'm still fit. Like, I work around my injuries, my neck and my arms. I run, I spin, I do spinning, I row, I do everything I possibly can to stay ahead of the average person. Like, I'm a fit person. I train my ass off every single day, twice a day. I am fit and I'm sharp. Like, and I'll always be ready. You've got to be ready. If you put yourself out there and people want to scrutinise you and talk shit about you, especially other fighters, or people who call themselves fighters, then you've got to say, right, what's crack? What do you want to do about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather not fight people unless it's in a cage or a ring. But at the end of the day, how can you explain it? If someone rocked up to my town, a proper fighting man rocked up to my town with just another lad And I knew he wanted a fair square go, and he had a proper problem with me, and he was messaging me, send me a postcode. I'd send him a postcode and I'd be there. I'd be there. Any man walking this planet, I'd be there, and I'd take me licking, or I'd fill the kid in. It's as simple as that. Like, there's no two ways about it. I'd either go and give it me all, either beat the lad up, or take me kicking. Like, what's the worst can happen? Do you know what I mean? If you're a fighter, you're prepared to win or you're prepared to lose. That's how fighting works. Like, you can't just keep running around pretend to be something that you're not. Fuck me. You know, Divvy's making videos, man. I just think, who the fuck are you, man? Get a grip. Right, big sparkle on the windowsill there. If the wife's saying that, she'll be kicked off. But yeah, anyway, you know, it wound me up, this lad doing a video last night, labeling this corner of YouTube, talking shit, you know, calling us all divvies and this, that, the other. But yet he made a 3 or 4 minute long video talking about what we are and how we are, you know, but made a 3 or 4 minute video, and he knew enough. So he's obviously entertained, and he's obviously involved, and he's obviously, you know, he's obviously involved and entertained by this corner of YouTube, isn't he? Especially to go on Facebook and make a 3 or 4 minute long video. I just think a lot of people see what they see and take, and they look at this corner of YouTube and take what they want from it. You know, they don't see the narrative that certain people spin, especially Brett May. Like, he talks absolute waffle. Like, the shit that comes out that man's mouth is unbelievable. You know, he actually resorted to threatening me in a message last night, you know, saying he'll be under a camera, things are going to happen to people's out. You know, talking about, you know, bad man gangster shit, like fake gangster shit. All I did last night is ask him, listen, I'm free 4th of October, and he resorted to start saying, I'll be under a camera, watch what happens. I just thought, you're a clown, mate. You know, this isn't the type of person you're dealing with, and it does make me look stupid, and I do feel like a fool once again. But at the end of the day, know this on my whole family's life, on the Holy Bible, I will fight that man any given day. Like, I'm not the type of person to be shying away from a square go. That's not who I am. That's not what I am. You know, yeah. There's me more and rant. God bless.